Here is how I created these crocheted covered buttons. This came about because I couldn't find any matching buttons that I liked in my stash. You will need some buttons for this project. They don't have to be matching, but they do need to be the same size. They should be slightly smaller than you want the finished buttons to be. You're going to need some yarn. This could be the same as what you've used for the rest of the project or go for a contrasting colour. You'll also need a crochet hook. To start, make a magic ring. Chain 1, then do 6 double crochet into the magic ring. I like to work this continuously so you don't get a visible seam, but if you prefer you could slip stitch into that beginning double crochet to join and then chain 1 and work around for the next round. Now that I've got 6 double crochet into my magic ring, I like to pull it tight and then going to work into that first double crochet we did, and I'm going to do 2 double crochet into each stitch around. You may want to use a stitch marker to mark out the start / end of the round, but because it is such a small project I tend to just count my stitches. So by the end of round 2 I will have 12 double crochet around. At this point you want to check if your button fits into the circle with a little border around it. You want your button to look something like this when it is on the crocheted circle. Depending how big your buttons are, you may want to change your hook size to get the right size of the crochet circle, or if the buttons are much bigger you might want to do another increase round. I am happy with the size of my crocheted circle, so I am going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch around, so I'll have 12 double crochet around after the end of round 3. Once you've done that, you want to make sure your magic ring is nice and tight and you want to sew that end in so it's secure. Then with your other tail end you want to fasten that off but leave a long tail. Using a needle, weave this back and forth through the stitches, going from back to front, then front to back until you are back where you started. Place your button inside and then pull the tail so that it tightens up and closes up the hole. Use this same tail to sew the buttons onto the cardigan. I like the way the buttons look on what might be the back, where you've pulled it tight to close up the hole, but it's up to you which way around you like to use them. It might seem a little fiddly, but I tend to find the holes of the button through the crochet quite easily. You want to sew it on like you would a normal button, going back and forth a few times then fastening off so that it's secure.